This channel supports St. Jude's Research Hospital for Children and is a part of their Play Live charity drive. For more information on how to join as well as how to donate, please head to the description and click the link at the top of it. Remember, any and all support is appreciated, so feel free to give and support in any way you can. Thank you for your participation. What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and I'm kind of gonna try to keep this as short as possible, because I have to get up and go to work in the morning. So this will probably be just me recording this, and then in the morning I'll upload the impressions because I don't feel like waiting up just to render and then upload and all that. It's too late. Watching the Nintendo Switch presentation, which came on at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, normally that's not that bad, but if I didn't have to be up for work at 5:36 in the morning, then I'd be cool. But I do have to be up that early, so this is going to be kind of rough. So you'll be seeing this probably a lot later than other people's impressions. But still, want to share my opinion on the whole presentation now. One thing I did that I don't normally do when these type of presentations are done is that I stopped taking notes about halfway through it. So I'm gonna have to refer to memory as well as just me using internet sources, tweets that I've posted, just to keep a tab on what I wanted to talk about, at least the major points that I wanted to hit on. So right off the bat, they gave us a release date and they gave us a price point. March 3rd, 2017 is the release date for the Nintendo Switch. We know they said March. I kind of figured the late end of March, not the beginning, because up until this point, Nintendo really hadn't done any type of promotion, any presentations really on this. They had that one video, and they were like, "We'll see you in January." That's it. So everybody was coming into this, with the exception of the people who were following the rumors. Most people were coming into this, I should say, then kind of blind, because again, you weren't into those rumors. You had no fucking clue as to some of this stuff, and I don't know what the rumors were. So someone, if you could please tell me in the comment section. I'm just curious as to how close or how dead on the rumors were when it comes to this presentation. But Nintendo really didn't build any momentum towards this. So this was just like everybody coming in. It's like, okay, let's see what Nintendo's going to show us. So that was good that they started off with the release date and the price. It's $299.99 retail. I forget what they said in yens, but just translated to wherever you are, the cost from U.S. currency. It will have an online service. It's going to launch first as a free service, but during the fall, they're going to start charging, and they're going to give more details on that. I found that a very, very strange and interesting move. It's like, okay, cool. Nintendo's going to actually have an online service such as PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. Finally, welcome to the 21st century. You only been here for almost 20 years. But, finally the Nintendo console is going to have a full-fledged online service. But there were some weird things about it, because there's some mobile access components to it. Like, if you want to chat with people, you have to use your smart device. So, like, that, I'm not sure just how much you have to utilize it. Like, is it just text-based chat and you have to use your smartphone? Or you're saying, like, if you want to do voice chat, you have to have a smartphone with some software on it to do that? Like, they didn't go into details. So I'm very, very curious about that. Because, again, starting with the original Xbox, consoles have had the ability to have people get online, communicate through voice while playing. Sony caught up kind of quick, sort of, when they implemented some of that into some of the PS2 games. Of course, then finally PlayStation 3 got a shaky but full online service. So, you know, their competition has been working with this type of stuff for at least 15 years. It's just curious that they're gonna have things that is gonna be kind of segmented and not fully implemented. But we'll see what the details are. Again, they didn't go into the full details. I'm sorry, I'm very, very tired. Of course, they talked about the whole playing modes, how you can utilize the console. We already knew that it was a portable / at-home console, but they also talked about another mode, which they call table mode, which is pretty much kind of an in-between of the two. Like, the TV mode, of course, is when the handheld device is docked, plugged into your TV through an HDMI cable, and you can play all your games through the TV using the Joy-Con controller, which I hate that name and I hate the design. The Joy-Con dock, it's just it looks like it's tiny. Those little two Joy-Con sticks look very, very tiny. I don't know how many adults they had in mind when they built this, but clearly small to maybe medium hand size adults. Because it doesn't, like, if you have large hands, that thing looks like you'll engulf it, even when it's docked to that controller thing. And the design, I just don't like. The button seems seriously small. But there's a method to the madness, because you're supposed to be able to disconnect these, and two people could possibly use them. They're supposed to have full set of controls, but they showed us how on the top there's actually L and R triggers on top of there. So it's meant to give two people a kind of full control spectrum, so to speak. Okay, I guess, but it's just a weird design, and I'm not really a big fan. But you have the TV mode, like I said, then you have the tabletop mode, where the handheld device has a kickstand, where you can just sit it on the counter wherever you are, and so you guys can just sit. If you want to play a multiplayer game, co-op game, you can play with people that way. And then, of course, the portable mode, where you just put the two Joy-Con sticks on the side of it, and you just walk around and use it as if you're using a handheld device, a 3DS, so to speak. So yeah, that's kind of cool. The battery life, they said it could be as little as 2.5 hours and as much as 6 hours. I'm curious to know what the factors. I'm assuming that multiplayer, because it will have Wi-Fi, unless you connect to the internet that way. I'm assuming that's has a big effect on the battery life itself. But again, a lot of stuff it states that they were going to show and talk about in detail, like they said, down the road, or perhaps at the New York event and the Tokyo event, because they're holding events on Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th, where they're going to let groups of people come in, mainly press, and get more information hands-on for the Nintendo Switch. So we may get more information than we got out of this hour presentation. Yes, it was only an hour. It was pretty short. Wasn't that long. You can connect up to 8 Switch devices together, so you can kind of, I guess through Wi-Fi maybe. I don't think they said anything about a physical connection, but you can basically daisy chain them so to speak. Like, remember how you used to can do the GameCube, I believe, and you can have multiple systems together. So sort of like that. Then they, of course, they got into the controller into detail. I'm not a big fan of that controller, so I wasn't extra hyped about the fact. Although, as Nintendo likes to do, there's a lot of innovation in those controllers, like the HD Rumble, where they said that it makes you be able to feel things like if someone was pouring a glass of water in a game, you can feel it or feel ice going into it. There's a little camera on the Joy-Cons so that when you play certain games, you guys can look at each other. Like they were showing this thing called Switch 1-2, where people could duel or like fight, gunfight, and instead of looking at the screen to see the reaction of the character, you face each other and you draw on each other by, anticipating. Like, does he look like he's gonna draw? Blah 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 blah. So I mean, it's neat, unique technology. That's something that Nintendo's always been big on. But how well is it gonna play overall? Is it just gonna have novelty factor with like the Wii or like the Wii U's handheld controller type thing? Time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, again, not a huge fan of that controller, even though it does a lot of crazy things. But then they started to get into the games, and that's where things kind of, I kind of stopped paying attention to my notes, and just was, in general, just trying to figure out who were they appealing to? Were they still just appealing to their audience, or were they going to see about appealing to a broader base? And I guess the answer to that question is they're still leaning heavily on people who, I guess, expect only certain type of games from Nintendo. Maybe, I don't know, because you got like a weird mix. Like, of course, you get your Super Mario game. They have Super Mario Odyssey, which looks good, but again, is this the only way you sell a platform? I don't know. That, even though that wasn't the first thing they showed, when it got to that made me was like, are we gonna have another console where Mario dominates the landscape and they're not going to even try to show any love to their other properties? Because like I said in the other video, they have a ton of properties that they can utilize. They show Fire Emblem. There's going to be a new Fire Emblem. There is going to be a new Xenoblade, which was the first thing that perked me up. That Xenoblade looked really, really good. They showed some stuff from Square. That's going to be around. They officially announced Skyrim, which I was like, okay, congrats Nintendo fans, you got a 6-year-old game. I don't know why they felt like that was a huge deal, or like something that they needed to secure. But you can play Skyrim. Just don't expect the mods and stuff, because you thought Sony was hardcore with wanting to control things as far as mods go, which they have a legitimate reason, because Sony is a multimedia company that could get in trouble by hosting properties from other companies, possibly. So, but Nintendo, you can guarantee they're not going to even entertain the idea of mods. Mods, yeah, you're gonna have to crack your Switch and do that, I think. But anyway, they showed that. They showed a few games. They talked about EA. EA's bringing FIFA. By the way, the guy on stage from EA, he did not look like he was feeling it. Suda51 came out and said he's going to be working on some stuff. The character Travis Touchdown will be in the game that he's working on. By the way, the translator they had for Suda was shit. He was lost as fuck. It threw the whole rhythm of the thing off. But cool. Suda's doing the game for him. That's nice. And that was pretty much the bulk of it. I'm sure there's a couple of things that I'm missing, but the only thing that was like super big that I feel like was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's going to be a launch title, they said. It's going to come out on March 3rd, which there'd already been talk about. It probably won't make launch and all that. But it is. So they're finally going to have a Zelda at launch. I don't think there's ever been a Zelda game that's come out at launch for Nintendo. And this is, I guess, to rectify the big wrong that they did the Wii U, because I know they said that Breath of the Wild will be coming out on the Wii U as well. I still doubt that. But yeah, if it doesn't ever come out on the Wii U, which why should it now? They're not making Wii U's anymore. They pretty much aren't supporting that system heavily anymore. Why would you put out Breath of the Wild on the Wii U? The only reason you would do that is because if you don't, this will be the first time that a Nintendo console did not have a Zelda game released on it, which is a goddamn shame, because that game was pretty much a part of the plans when the Wii U was announced, and it never saw the light of day on it. And now that console has pretty much been killed off by Nintendo, and that's a damn shame. That fans of Zelda, because I mean, even I'm a big fan of Zelda, even though I don't necessarily plan on getting a Switch, or I haven't owned a Nintendo platform in God knows how long. I'm still a huge fan of Link and Legend of Zelda, and it was disappointing to see how that whole development cycle went for the Wii U. But it goes back to what I've said before. Again, I still need Nintendo to come stronger with their first parties, because we've kind of, as gamers, have gotten comfortable with the idea that Nintendo and third-party support is not going to ever equal the Xbox or the PlayStation family. Nintendo has their own way of doing things, and they are happy where they are, I think, with their third-party development. That being said, if you want to push units, if you want to draw people to your platform, you have a ton of first-party characters that you could bring back and that you can reimagine and things like that. Mario can't continually be the draw. It's no wonder that Zelda is getting the love that it's going to get this time around. Because again, they shitted on it on the Wii U, and Zelda is one of Nintendo's most popular and well-known franchises. But alas, they didn't do right by that. But they put out a few Super Mario related games, quite a few, if you count like the Luigi stuff and the Yoshi stuff. Like that Super Mario Brothers universe seems to be what Nintendo feels sustains them as a gaming company. And I gotta tell you, while I know I'm a rarity by not being a Mario fan, not really caring for those games, I still feel like people who do are experiencing some fatigue, and those who aren't are still looking for something else from you. Like, for you to love Nintendo, when you be one of those people who grew up with Nintendo, you loved it because of that diversity of characters that they had. And just throwing them all in the Smash Brothers game ain't gonna work. They need to start supporting these other first-party games and spreading love to all of those characters, because that gives you variety. It makes you more interesting and gives people a reason to buy your platform. But that's just me. We'll see what's going to happen in New York and Tokyo over the next 2 days. Anything interesting, I will definitely talk about it. But I've went longer than I thought I would. 20 minutes, goddamn. You guys know me, I'm long-winded. Plus, there was quite a bit of stuff to talk about, I guess, in hindsight. But yeah, okay presentation, I guess. By the way, just really quick, stop the corny shit, Nintendo. If it ain't Miyamoto, don't be dressing up and all that. That whole, we were going to switch to the next presentation. It was so fucking lame. But Alright, that's it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to set this to render, and hopefully it'll be done in the morning so I can post it for you guys. And as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Blak Magus, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.